How's everybody doing tonight? Ready for the big show? At this point on the wheel, we have 8 of the 12 options are the AR game console. So we have a 67% chance of the AR game console being what we look at tonight, but 67% is not 100%. I mean, it's only 2/3. There's still a third of a chance that's not what we get. There's basically 4 slots that are not that. There's the fun, or the good old-fashioned fun card deck, which I got for $1 at a yard sale. There's some Nickelodeon Shark Teeth. The most hours viewed on my channel, if you can believe it, is something called Paw Patrol, Nickelodeon Paw Patrol. I don't even know what it is. And it's like, it has the most view hours. So, this is probably a good thing to do at some point. And then we've got this jigsaw puzzle, 500 piece, some kind of manga. And then we've got the game console, and it's 67% chance of coming up. So we're going to spin the wheel in a second. Before we do that, let's take a look at this menu, as we've been doing for the last few nights. We take 5 at a time. I think the one we're up to right now is Ida Lupino. Mortadelle, provolone, lettuce, tomato, olive oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper. Excuse me. Connie Stevens, shrimp parm, Fridays only. I mean, that sounds good. I might get that during Lent. Bruno Sammartino. The old wrestler. Was he the one? No, he's not the one that Shrek was after. It's a different guy. Bruno Sammartino, fried eggplant, fresh rigot, salt, pepper, basil, sun-dried tomato. Is that, yeah, it's vegetarian. It's not vegan, but it's vegetarian. Was Bruno Sammartino a vegetarian? Somehow I doubt it. Steve Sherpa, salami, provolone, and roasted peppers. If I'm not mistaken, Steve Sherpa was in, wait, am I mistaken? See, I'm thinking he was in the Sopranos, but I don't know if he was Tony's brother-in-law, or now I'm thinking, was he that Little Steven? No, Little Steven was. Yeah, right. There was I guess there were 2 actors named Steve. Yeah, I think it was the brother-in-law. Tony Lobianco, roast beef, stuffed mushrooms, fresh mozz, gravy, salt, and pepper. Wow, that sounds like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Roast beef, stuffed mushrooms, fresh mozz, gravy, salt, and pepper. I probably would have went with Swiss on that one. I don't know. If I start doing these, do I have to follow the rules? I feel like I want to do Swiss on that one. All right, so let's spin the wheel here. Let's see what we got. It's got to come up with something, right? So we have 67% chance that we're doing the game console tonight. Let's find out. What are we doing tonight? We're doing the jigsaw puzzle. So even with the even with the ARG on the board 8 times, we still didn't get it. So tomorrow it's going to be on the board 9 times, and apparently we're doing a jigsaw puzzle tonight. So let me fire up some, let me grab some random knowledge questions, and let me go over here to the web here, and let me grab some news. We'll go to timcast.com, because When you do a crossword puzzle, you need something to talk about. There's a lot of just sitting there looking at pieces. You need something to chat about. All right, so we got some news here. Maybe we'll do it like this. All right, so we'll see that. No, probably on this camera. Yeah, vertical, I think, goes good for the jigsaw puzzle. Let me just, before we let me just check this wheel again. A jigsaw, was it on there twice or only once? All right, so let's just review what we got left. Game console, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. We got the card deck once. The game console for the 7th time. Shark teeth. Game console for the 8th and 9th times. Shark teeth the 2nd time. All right, so tomorrow we're going to have the game console with a 9 of 12 chance. What's that, like 75% chance? And then shark teeth with a 2 out of 12. That's like 12.5% chance. And then, 6% chance for the, no, higher than that. I don't know what it is. Anyway, some odds that we get the card deck. Why am I a 16% chance? Does that sound about right? I'm not sure. All right. Well, if it was there 3 times, it would be a 30. No, I'm getting confused. It needs to be there 4 times to be a 33% chance. So this is there 1 time. So it's like a what? 8.25% or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I'm obviously forgot my math tonight. So let's open the puzzle. And then as soon as we start the puzzle, we'll start doing some news as well. I'll tell you, I was positive we were doing the game console tonight. I was sure we were doing this thing tonight. Anyway, tomorrow we have a 75% chance. You know what? Tomorrow I'm going to get online. I'm going to try to get online early. And that's going to lead to us doing it. I'll be online by, by an early hour. And that's going to, as a result, we'll have 2 hours to do the show tomorrow. And that will be the night that the game console comes up, because today we went online at what, like 11:10. Yeah, so of course the console didn't win. The God or the universe or fate or whatever you want to call it, they're like, we're not doing a console in 52 minutes. We need like a full amount of time for a console. So tomorrow I'll try to start the show at 10. Hopefully my work will allow me to do that. It's actually, I have to log back into work after the show tonight. The thing is, the way it is now, it's like, it's machines doing something, and it's not me monitoring the machines. So, although there could be like a call from out of the blue, basically, I've got an hour to do the show at least before I need to get back to work. So, but tomorrow, hopefully, there's nothing happening that's too immediate, and we could take 2 hours for the show. We'll see. All right. So, what do we got here? I can't really even read what that says. Jigsaw puzzle, 500 pieces, art crystal jigsaw, and then a lot of like writing that's not even in English, so I don't know how to describe it. There's a pig there. What is this? What is this shape here? It's like a ghost or something. There's another one over here. There's like, what's going on here? Are these ghosts? They have like eyes. There's like a lot of them. Look, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know what that is. They kind of look a little bit, I don't want to say it, but what is that like? And there's another one back here. In those like Muslim countries where they wear that like full body, like black robe that even covers like the face and everything. I mean, it kind of looks like that, but I'm sure that that's not what it's supposed to be. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. All right, and it's a 500-piece puzzle, so I don't think we're going to finish this tonight. And lately, I don't even bother, like, with this jigsaw puzzle. Like, if I don't finish it, it's probably not going to get finished because I'm not good at jigsaw puzzles. And until I get good, I can't commit to them. Because I had ones recently that took me like 5 days. And then on the 5th day, I would like work on the puzzle literally for like several hours to get it done. And I'm not going to do that for this puzzle. I'm not that inspired right now. Alright. Let's see what we got here. It's a 500-piece puzzle. We could put on a progress tracker to track the progress. Oh, are these plastic puzzle pieces? Let's take a look here. They are. Somehow that makes me feel a little better. They're like plastic or something. I don't know what you want to call it. They're not wood. They're not cardboard. There's some kind of plastic. That's probably why it said crystal. I don't feel like I see these any better. And if we do make the puzzle counter, it's just going to make it take even longer. So I think we're not going to do that. What I am going to do is set this up in the background so I can see what it's supposed to look like. And before we even start, let's find some news story here to talk about. This thing doesn't like scroll. The first there we go, 10 times you try. Exclusive, Dave Hughes responds to winning women's poker tournament. All right, let's see what that's all about. Does this look like the person who would win a women's poker tournament? What am I missing here? All right. Exclusive. That means that Tim Cass spoke directly to this guy. Dave Hughes responds to winning women's poker tournament. I figured why not? The ladies, as you know, are just as fierce, capable, and competitive as the men in poker. Dave Hughes, who won a ladies' no-limit hold'em event in Florida on Saturday, said the women's event was the only competition available for him to compete in. Hughes wanted to play a hand of poker, but learned the only event available was the ladies' limit hold'em event. Okay, so this guy entered the ladies' tournament. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that it was the type of situation where they're not going to question. You know, like anyone could enter, and nobody's going to ask you to show your birth certificate or anything like that. So that's probably what's going on there. So what do we think about that? I know what I think about college sports. I mean, Title IX is supposed to be for women, so there shouldn't be anyone taking a scholarship that's not, like a biological chromosomal woman, whatever the definition of woman was at the time that Title IX was created, that should still be honored. Even if you've changed the definition of woman now, that doesn't mean it retroactively changes a law written 50 years ago. So I think that's clear. But some local tournament, why is there a women's division? Why is poker separated? I understand why college sports are separated into men's and women's. I'm not sure why poker would be. Does that seem like a... Okay, let's just say we don't know why it's was separated, but it was separated. So once it's separated, then for him to enter the women's competition, I think it's a little dishonest. I mean, if he doesn't, I mean, look at the picture of him. I mean, I don't think he lives his life as a woman, so I think it's dishonest for him to enter that tournament. There's probably, someone will say like it will force people to crack down on enforcing the like who can enter, say they're a woman and something like that. I don't know. I don't know that a person winning a poker tournament. Well, was there money involved? Because if he took the money, then I suppose someone could sue, like a woman could sue and say, he wasn't supposed to be in this division. He can't win the money. I finished in second. I should get the money. Like, I could see that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that sounds like that was something that should be heard, should be discussed. I mean, I think that would be like a valid claim. By the way, this is not an end piece. Look at this piece. Look at that curve. It's like, I thought that was an end piece for a second because there was no inlet and no, like, what are we going to call these pieces? Like, I forget what we used to call them, but this side just has nothing. It's not flat. It's just kind of like wavy. All right, so I don't really have too much to say about that. I disagree with the guy entering the tournament. The fact that Timcast interviewed him directly probably means that they felt it was an important, like, I don't know if important, but they felt it was a valid protest or something like that. Like, that's what I'm thinking. If they talk to him, then they probably think he did something smart, whereas I'm thinking he took prize money away in a division that he can't honestly say that he should be in. But at the same time, why is there a separate division for women to play poker? I mean, I think poker, you don't have an advantage. Well, I don't know what to even say about that, because if you claim that there's an advantage, I mean, there's an advantage in like rowing, let's say, or shot putting. It's like clearly the man has an advantage. Like, I don't think there's been a woman yet who could have won the Olympic shot put or some like rowing thing at the Olympic level, let's say. I mean, you could win in grade school, high school, but, best against best, that's going to be tough. But like poker, a woman could win the poker match. Like, am I missing something? Like, what am I missing here? Is there any reason to inherently think that a man would be better at poker because he has a beard? Does he have a better poker face because he has a beard? Are women more expressive and therefore have more tells, and that makes them more susceptible in poker? I don't know. There's a lot to consider here. Let's just say, for some reason, there was a women's division, and he can't honestly say that that's his division. He even said in that one paragraph we read that he went into it because it was the only competition available. So his reason was not that he identified as a woman. It's that there was the only game in town. So we're definitely saying this guy shouldn't play. By the way, just to focus on the puzzle for a minute, I'm finding a lot of these pieces, they're like gray and they have lines on them. I don't know if I'm looking at them frontwards or backwards, because there's nothing on the puzzle board that looks like this. But if I spin it around, that maybe looks like something. So this line is like white on this side, but it's like black on this side, and that looks like maybe that's the correct way to go. Right? Like, that's the tricky thing about these puzzles, is like, which way does it go? I think that white is telling us that flip that over, because that's clearly not part of the puzzle. So if If I flip it over, then I feel like these go up here. I'm not sure exactly where, but somewhere up there. Here's a good way to test it. This eyeball. So that's definitely the upside. So it's white on this side. Is it going to be black on the other side? No, it's just kind of... Oh, I'll tell you what it is. It's the same, but you're viewing it through this like white, transparent white. So if we take this one and imagine looking at this through a transparent white, is that what we see when we flip it over? No, that is more than just adding a transparent white. That's totally changing the color of it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of confused here. Hopefully we can make some progress. All right, let's alternate between the news story and the random facts. I don't want to do all news tonight, so let's do a random fact next. There are many different kinds of cells in the human body. Which are the most common? You know, I don't think I even know the names of the cells. I mean, I've heard of stem cells. Can you just pick like anything and call it a cell? Like if I said a skin cell, would that be, is that a thing? Because there's probably a lot of skin cells, you know? I mean, that sounds like a pretty common thing. There's blood cells, you know, like red blood cells, white blood cells. So that's another thing. But really, I don't know the answer. Let's talk about the puzzle for a minute. This girl is wearing red. So I'm going to start pulling out all the red pieces. Also, now I'm flipping pieces over. Now that I understand that if there's too much white, I'm probably looking at the back of the piece. Yeah, like that's the back of the piece. Yeah, that was the back. So like this piece, what is this? You think that's the shoulder? Right? So the arm is here. Down here I've got the arm. So then the shoulder is probably like up here somewhere, and then the face is like kind of above that. I'm just trying to grab onto anything that'll get me somewhere. So these look like kind of face pieces. And I think let's keep pulling these dress pieces because it's a very distinct color, and plus it has a pattern with this, you know, it's like white and red pattern. That should help us to figure out which piece goes where. There's also an arm. Like at some point there should be an arm. Oh, and this pig. Like this piece probably goes to the pig. Look at that color on that piece. Alright, so this looks like more arm. I don't think it's goes here. That's a little too low. But it probably goes like maybe here or something like that. I'm not sure if that's right, but it seems like it's like, could be, you know, like something like this. All right, so if we find a red piece with either white or skin on it, we should be able to figure out where that goes. Like there's a lot of white on that piece. This one has a lot of knots, which means it probably goes back here. I just felt a piece hit my leg. I don't know where it came from. I'm going to find that. And we didn't finish that cell question. I'm just going to look at the answer. I don't know what the answer is. Let's just see what it says. Well, it looks like, first of all, the camera's not focusing. Let's try to force it, the issue. There we go. All right, non-human cells. There are hundreds of different types of human cells in the body, but the largest group of cells are bacteria in the gastrointestinal tract. Keep them happy. Have some probiotic yogurt today. Let's hope that's not true. I'm not sure. You know, I think it's kind of like cheating, that answer they gave, because they were like, what's the type of cell, and they defined it as a not type, meaning like they're like it's a not human cell. So they're defining it like in the negative, like instead of saying like they didn't name which cell was the most common. They just kind of defined it as like not this type of cell. So I don't think we've really been told what's the most common type of cell. Like non-human, because they're saying that the human is split up into all the different types, the skin cell, the brain cell, the whatever cell, but then the non-human, they're going to count those all into non-human. I'm sort of thinking of, although I don't want to say it right after saying non-human, but there's certain, you see that sometimes where people describe groups in like an us versus them type of mentality, which is frankly a little bizarre in my opinion. Though I understand how it's convenient in some cases. I guess I shouldn't call it bizarre. You got to know when to use it. It could be right in some situations. It could be wrong. It could be very wrong in other situations. But it could be right in some situations. All right. So if we find the red mixed with the flesh, there's only two places it can go. The face, ear, and the arm. So like the head or the arm. Those are the only two places it can go. That's why I'm trying to collect those pieces. I feel like I'm going to get somewhere by looking at those. Like, look at this piece. Is that part of the pig? I'm not sure. And then some of these pieces, yeah, like where on the board is there something that light? Like, take a look here. I almost knocked a piece off. Look how light this piece is. Where is that color in this puzzle? This window is lighter, but where is this color? This nose? Yeah, but it doesn't match this shape. Or does it? Is it like just exactly going to be his nose? I'm not sure. His ear? Yeah. I don't see where this piece goes. All right. While I continue on the puzzle, let's do the news again. All right, let's find another news story to talk about. Okay. Federal judge strikes down Illinois' assault weapons ban. The judge stated in his opinion that no state may pass any law that violates rights guaranteed under the U.S. Constitution. A federal judge in Illinois has blocked enforcement of temporary blow to officials working to enact stricter gun control measures. All right, so I'm just going to start with my general opinion on gun control, which I think isn't even talked about in the media. And this is like when I'm not sure that Tucker ever did this on his show, but he definitely did this like after his show ended. He said something like the big conversations never even happen. Like we're like debating like who should win the next election, but no one's ever debating like regardless of who wins, what should we do? About this specific issue. So I think gun rights is one of those because you keep hearing people say, and like, I don't know, mainstream media or whatever left-right paradigm side, I guess the left it would be, they'll say we need to get like assault weapons. Like you can't have assault weapons. And when the media presents this argument, I mean the media, not just like the people who are for the gun ban, the media, the people who are supposed to be like discussing it honestly, they'll say like, oh, why do you need an assault rifle to defend your home or something like that? Like a shotgun will work. And I think that that's leaving out a huge piece of sort of how the American system works, in that cities, they have police stations, right? Like everyone's like, oh, you need like an armed. There's the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. It's part of like to have an armed militia, and you'll like picture like guys in coveralls with guns, and that's a militia. But in reality, like the sheriff's office, the NYPD, the like Chicago Police Department, I mean, these are all falling under that same law. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's how it works. Like, if you took away the rifle ban, then none of the police stations would have rifles. And then federal would have like a monopoly. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but federal has already gone hog wild with the guns. Like the IRS has guns, the FBI has guns, the CIA has guns. Like at the post office, I mean, I don't know for sure, but they probably have guns. Like it's like any federal agency that's been around for any amount of time has come up with a reason why they need guns and commandos. So when you talk about taking away the assault rifles, yeah, maybe you're taking away from a few people who just really want to own assault rifles, but you're also taking away from all the local governments, and you're giving a monopoly to federal. And I don't think that's what people planned. I have the same argument I have for like states' rights and states' militias, similar to the argument that I have against the idea of like maybe not a one world government, but like a super, government. And that is, where do you go when things go wrong? If you have a monopoly, like we don't have monopolies on soda because we know that if it's a monopoly, then they'll start lowering the ingredients and increasing the cost, and the product will become worse. Well, if you have a government monopoly, like, for example, instead of 50 independent states, you have one federal state, where do you go when the federal rots? You get a string of bad politicians. What happens? Some weird election, and all of a sudden things change. How do you change them back? And if you scale that up to like a one world government, let's say you create that one world government, and let's say they kick ass for like 30 years, and then people don't pay attention for a little bit, and something goes a little sideways, and all of a sudden it becomes like a tyrannical world government. But it's a world government. They have a monopoly on government worldwide. Now, how do you displace them or rein them in? And you might say, oh, we don't need to displace them. We just need to get them under control. Have you ever tried that? I mean, we just went through that with COVID. They didn't even have the authority. They didn't even have the one world government. All they had was a bully pulpit, and they did it anyway. They like locked down people. They closed schools. They told people they couldn't do this or that unless they followed these conditions. Things that they had no legal right to do, but they did it anyway. And no one's taking them to task. Nobody is like, it's like the 2008 housing crash. Like nobody went to jail. Well, now we had COVID, and so far, like COVID lockdown that was overambitious, and so far nobody went to jail. I think on a previous podcast I gave the Swedish example. After the 2008, banking crisis, Sweden jailed bankers. Well, what happened during the 2020 COVID? Sweden was like the only, Western European country that didn't lock down. Maybe they learned their lesson. You abuse the people, and you're going to pay for it eventually. And it's not like it was some heinous thing. I mean, they just put him in jail like they would any other criminal. I mean, right? I don't understand why, like you and I have to follow the law, which is good. We should. But like some politician, they're making like $40 million off of their job that only pays $180K. I mean, there's obviously something going on there. Like, where's like the law when you need it? And I mean, it sets a terrible example. You know, like, is anyone going to follow the law here? All right. Let's grab the next question. I know this puzzle's not going anywhere yet, but hopefully at some point it starts. All right, what is going on with this camera tonight? I can't see anything. Oh, I think the light is like too powerful, even with the diffuser. This diffuser like worked for a couple of weeks. Now it's like not working again. Anyway, which is bigger in size? All 18 fairways of a Masters golf course or the world's largest building? Which is bigger in size? What do they mean by size? Are we talking about volume? Are they talking about surface area? I mean, obviously they're not talking about height, or there'd be no question the building would win. It's really unclear as to what they mean by size. The fact that they're even asking the question makes you think that the answer is going to be the building. Like, the only way that's the answer is if they're taking like every office inside of the building and taking their like footprint. So you've got the footprint to the building, but then let's say the building has 100 floors, and then you're going to add whatever the footprint is times 100. And you're going to take that and say that's the area, because that's like the area that people can stand in. And then you're going to compare that to the golf course. And in which case, you probably are going to get it bigger for the building. It doesn't seem like it. And I'm not totally convinced of it. But it seems like that's probably what they're going for. This puzzle's not going to happen. I feel like it's almost going to be a waste of an episode, because look at all this mess. Like, and there's nothing happening here. I mean, I found this hand, and I put these two pieces together, and so far that's all we got. Let's see if we can get more progress on this arm. Like, how about this, maybe? Does that go there? It doesn't. How does this go there? It's got some ink on it, like it should be next to the hand. I think that does go there. It's kind of tough to read this piece. Oh, sorry, you didn't see what I was doing. I just added this piece. I just added that piece, and I think that's right. But what goes here, like the hand, you know? Like, I see the thumb. Like, what goes here? Like a piece that's like all, looks like all flesh. I guess we can look for that, see if we find it. This looks like it goes kind of like here. It probably does. But we need to find some connecting pieces. Nope, that's not it. Wow. I need to study this picture better. Crap. Just coming up with a lot of crap here. Like, what is this? Oh, I know what this is. This is exactly above the elbow where it goes into the shirt. That's exactly what that is. Now, what I'm not sure is how close that elbow is to this. It seems like it's kind of far away. And kind of to this side. Yeah, that looks like something. Maybe. Not actually. I don't think that's right. But maybe. I don't know. All right. We need to read this answer. It's about a tie. The Boeing aircraft Everett factory covers almost 99 acres of floor space. The fairways at Augusta National Golf Course, where they hold the Masters Golf Tournament, cover about 100 acres. If Boeing ever stops building planes, maybe we can tee up inside it. So it wasn't the tallest building, bigger in size. World's largest building. Okay, largest, not tallest. Okay. All right. So the largest building is a place where they build aircraft. All right, good. Yeah, it's good to know. I mean, I was off on that answer, but whatever, you know. You learn. That's the point of those cards, you know, learn something. You learn something every day, I guess. Ooh, I did it again. I made 2 connections on the arm. Why do I keep making connections when it's in that zoom mode where nobody gets to see them? What a shame. All right. I know this goes kind of here, but how high up does it go? And does this piece go anywhere near it? Well, there should be white on the other side. I don't see a piece that looks like that. Yeah, there's no way this is being finished tonight. I'm just still digging through here to see if I could find pieces that look like they're part of that like dress or whatever. Let's just find all the pieces that are that color. I mean, we got to start somewhere. This looks like something. What though? Part of this arm, right? And we also got part of the face. Like, where does this hair go? Like, why can't I figure that out? That should be, I should be able to figure that out. All right, let's do another news story. DeSantis signs bill legalizing death penalty for child rape, defying Supreme Court precedent. Florida officials are prepared to take the case to the U.S. Supreme Court with the hope that the 6-3 conservative majority will overturn prior rulings. Yeah, this is an interesting one because generally I'm against the death penalty, but at the same time, I feel like there's been fair warning. Like, everybody knows that. I mean, I can't even say the words. Everyone knows that this crime being described in this article is the absolute most heinous thing you can do. I mean, I know that you would think, well, what about murder? Yeah, I suppose premeditated murder is also in the category of things that would get an extreme punishment, but like, I don't know. It's like kids, you know, it's like when you involve kids, everything becomes, what's the word? Worse. Like a crime committed against a person is bad. That same crime committed against a kid is worse, like much worse. Like there's no even discussion. Is this piece part of the face or part of the arm? I still only have one eyeball. I mean, there's another eye to this thing. Where did it go? Yeah, we gotta find these pieces. Like, what is this? By the way, there's a signature on this piece. If we could find the signature on this board, you see that, like, is that a signature on this piece? I don't know if that's a signature or what, but I feel like it's something. Is it this pig's nose? Like the top of it? It might be. This might be the top of this pig's nose. Doesn't really help us much knowing that. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I was on camera. Alright, I think this is the top of this pig's nose. Or is it the top of this pig's nose? I think it's the top of this pig's nose, but I'm not sure. And again, I'm not sure if I was on camera. I should have been looking at the monitor when I did that. Alright. Yeah, so nobody's going to defend those people. So in that sense, you can pick the harshest possible penalty and nobody's going to object to it. So I guess, yeah, I mean, nobody's going to object to it and neither will I. Like, I wouldn't have proposed it, but nobody's gonna stick up for those people. They've had fair warning. They know this is the worst possible thing they could do, and they did it anyway. I'm sure that there's like still a case by case basis. Like, I don't know what's like the worst case, you know? I don't know what's a case that's not that bad. Like, I'm sure there are limits to this case. Like, I'm sure it involves certain ages. Like, I think some people would give an example like, what if a 19-year-old dates a 17-year-old? I don't think that's what this is about. I don't think this is about statutory rape. I think this is about something really heinous, and that's why the punishment is in kind. So I'd have to read it to say for sure, but I don't think anyone's going to object. Which is, should be quite a warning to the people. Like, you don't have any defenders on this one. Nobody's going to, nobody's on your side. What is this piece? Is it the elbow or something? Is it part of the face? I don't know. Still didn't find the eyeball yet. Gotta be somewhere, right? Could be upside down, though. There's a lot of pieces that are upside down right now. I feel like this puzzle is doable. The art is like, they didn't try to intentionally make the puzzle tricky. It's like you definitely can just look at this picture and find the pieces. But so far, that's not happening. Maybe I should look for a corner piece. Here's a corner piece. As soon as I said it, I found the corner piece. So, like, here's a corner piece. Which corner? Actually, I know exactly which corner this is. It has writing on it. Ghibli. Oh, this is another one of those Ghiblis? Alright, anyway, this is the bottom right corner. There's the bottom right corner. I guess we can find another piece with writing. So, what's that full writing say? Ghibli. Studio Ghibli. Copyright Studio Ghibli. Alright, so Studio Ghibli. Maybe we could find the piece that says Studio. Alright. One more article. Rep. Alexandria Cortez is not planning to primary Kirsten Gillibrand. Oh, was that a rumor? Yeah, what's the deal with Kirsten Gillibrand? How did she even get that job? I think she got it. It was like vacated, and she was appointed, and then she ran for it and kept it, kind of like Hochul. Why is that? Why is that a route? Like, isn't there someone you can like, okay, you appoint the person, right? You don't have to give that person the nomination. Like, they could have ran someone other than Hochul. Like, why did Hochul become the governor? Just because she was the temporary governor? Like, is that, how common is that? I mean, it definitely shouldn't be so common that it's just assumed that person would have won the primary, unless they had in the past won a primary. But if the person is just like appointed and they never ran in the other primary, I wouldn't assume that that person should get the nomination, like to run on their own after the whatever, the appointment. I can't figure this piece out. I'm looking at it looks like this. Okay, yeah, I figured it out. That's it. That's how it goes. But there should be like a flesh piece next to it. Maybe this piece? I don't know. Well, if you tuned in to watch a puzzle not be put together, you're probably very happy. What's with these clear pieces? It's like literally transparent, this piece. What is that all about? Where is there somewhere in this puzzle where the pieces are transparent? There is. The outline of those ghosts. Remember those like ghosts that we were talking about? Their outlines are transparent. So that's probably where that goes. There's also some light bulbs in the back there. Those could be transparent. All right. I think this piece goes behind the sleeve. It's like next to this piece, kind of. Or above this piece. Kind of like that. I don't know. We got this corner here. Do we have any other corners? Here's a bottom, like, this has to go very close. Oh, sorry. This piece has like a slant on the bottom. So it has to go next to that fist. Because this red is only on the edge when it's part of this this main character in the middle. So these pieces have to go down here. But they're not the right connectors. But that just means that there's other pieces that go there, like in between. This goes somewhere up here. It's like a completely dark piece. Yep. Trying to find some pieces with flat edges. All right. Let's get another question going. Are snakes the only creatures that shed their skin? Well, they can't possibly be the only ones. Do all reptiles, like the Komodo dragons, shed their skin? What is that concept of molting? I remember in Aladdin, that parrot said he was molting. Is that something like similar to shedding the skin. I'm not sure. I don't know. Who else sheds their skin? Like, would an alligator shed their skin? That would be insane if alligators shed their skin, but maybe they do. I'm just trying to think if I've seen anything else. I have seen shedded snake skins when I was upstate near this creek. Have I seen the skins of anything? I'm sure I've heard of it, but nothing's coming to mind right now. Ooh, I found another eyeball. So which one's which? Which one's the right and which one's the left? Well, there's no like nose to guide you. The nose is like just a couple marks and they're far away. Am I looking at the bottom or the top of an eye? Yeah, I don't know which eye's which. I think that I think that maybe this is the left eye of the thing on the right side. So it kind of looks, but then these two would have to fit together. They do. All right, so this is the character's left eye. This is the character's right eye. And you'd think that now with that, we'd be able to get some of this hair done. But I'm not sure. In fact, this piece doesn't even make sense to me. Like, is that supposed to be hair or is that something else? I dropped it. I'm not sure what this is. At one point I thought it was the face, but now I don't think so. I think it's just something that's that color. And here's a piece with 3 dots. So I don't see the 3 dashes on the face either. So that's not the face. At least we got the eyeballs, but I don't know what else we're going to get. All right. These pieces should be like one piece in the middle, because this is the top of the sleeve where the sleeve ends, and this also goes underneath where the sleeve ends. So these pieces are supposed to be very close to each other, but I'm not sure what connects them. Well, we're definitely not there yet. We got a lot of pieces still to find. I don't think this is going to be done tonight, and therefore I don't think this is going to be done ever. I could slide it onto a puzzle board and get back to it, because we're only like 3 days away from the end of this Wheel of Fortune series, so we could get back to this, but I don't know that we will. It looks like kind of a cool puzzle with these like plastic pieces. Yeah, maybe I will set this up on the puzzle board and get back to it at a later date. Or maybe I'll just put these pieces in the box, like put together. Like, we barely got anywhere into this thing, and I think I'm going to wrap it up, when we hit an hour. Sort of a fail of an episode. Well, if you were listening to fall asleep, you probably did great. But if you were hoping to see a puzzle to get put together, that didn't happen tonight. Like, what is this piece? It looks like dress and flesh, but what is like what is this? Is it the ear of that one of those pigs? I don't know. I don't see anything that the only flesh, unless you count the pig flesh, which I should check, is her arm and her face. So, and the reason I don't think it's pig flesh is her dress is here, which makes it seem like this is her arm, although I suppose it could be her neck, but I'm not sure how that would be. Yeah, it's got to be her arm. But then what is this like graphic next to it? No idea. Oh, you know what this is? This is the bottom of one of those. Yeah, okay. This little bit is a pig. This little bit is a ribbon. This is arm. This is dress. So this is right behind the elbow. And we have the elbow. So we should be able to connect this. Right there. We just made a connection. I can't really celebrate. I mean, we've done so little in so much time that I can't celebrate, but we did get a piece there. And now I wonder if we can also connect it to the whole arm, like right like this. We can. So this piece that was a mystery to us a minute ago is suddenly making all these connections. So then where does this go? Like how? This arm is not that big. The only place it can go is down here by the fist, I think. Let's try it there. Yeah. Yeah, that's part of the fist. But then this must go here, right? It's like the only other option. Yeah, it's kind of a long fist and then short knuckles. So I think this is in the right spot. All right, is this face or hand? Or arm? The curves don't look like anything. It would have to be on this side because of the way the shadows are. All right, let's try it. That's it. It's going to connect the hand. Wow. There's a little bit of hand still out there, but we got most of the arm. So this gives you an idea of the scale. It's going to be huge. I mean, look at the arm here versus the arm here. So it's going to be big portrait orientated puzzle. I think that's like part of the ribbon, but I don't know. I'm not sure how to attach it. And there should be some rumpled like sleeve right here. And this is the shoulder for sure. So you think we'd also be able to build from that. So the arm goes in between the shoulder and the thing. And there's this, which we never quite attached. Though we know it's even with the bottom of this arm. So it's got to be right there where it goes. Right? Because the sleeve. I mean, it could go a little bit higher, not much, but that's about it. What is this? There's a little bit of red on it. A little bit of brown on it. Oh, this is the chin and the neck. So this goes underneath this face. Like, I'm not sure exactly how. Kind of underneath this eyeball. Like, kind of like there. Alright, the eyeball is right over the arm. And it's also right over the neck. So, kind of like that. And the shoulder is not too far from that. So it's starting to come together here. But it's not completely. What is this piece? Does it go here? No. It seems like it's something about it's right though, right? Like this. Yeah, that's it. I just needed to spin the piece. Does it really go like that? It might. Yeah, it might. So where's that flesh piece that goes there? I don't think this is it. Because there's a little white and red at one end. We still have a pile of pieces we haven't dug into yet. So the piece we're looking for could be in this pile. Which is annoying. I mean, I don't need to finish this tonight. I just need to feel like I did something, and I don't yet feel like that. Is that? No, that's not a match. It looks so good, but apparently that's not a match. How is it not, though? Yeah, I guess it's not. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know where this otherwise goes. Maybe this hand down here? Maybe over here. That's it. That's where it goes. Yeah, that's it. That don't look right. This looks like it has potential. No, it's a little too dark. Well, this part of the face? Can't tell. Could be like eyebrow or something. Yeah. Yeah, it could be the eyebrow that goes here, but it's like too close like that. Maybe on the other side? Maybe the mouth? No. It looks like it goes like this piece. Like something about these two pieces is similar. All right, well, basically was a fail tonight. I won't take up any more of your time. We're obviously not going to finish this. We didn't even get the arm done. I keep thinking, like, I keep wanting to try again and again to get that arm, but it's not going to happen. I'm going to sign off for the night, get some rest. Maybe tomorrow we'll do better. Maybe we'll get the game console tomorrow. 75 chance that actually does happen. All right. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.